This is my intro music. Welcome to the video. I hope you like it lots, so don't forget to subscribe and click the thumbs up button. Now let's react.
Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome to another episode of An Anthropologist Watches Anna O'Brien blame everyone but herself for why she isn't on YouTube. We're going to do the dark anthropology thing, just in case you were wondering. So, you might as well go get a snack and a notepad and some water, because we're going to be here a minute. Couple of housekeeping notes before we get started. Yes, there's something up with my eye. I have no idea. It's just, it is what it is. So, there you go. If you hear a fan, it is 80 degrees today. It is March the 31st. It sure is. And it is 80 degrees outside. So my fan is going. So sorry about that if you can hear it in the background. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You guys rock. Thank you to everybody who's going to hit the thumbs up button. If you see me glancing in this direction, I've got my notes up. Yeah, and if you've never been here for one of my dark anthropology videos, these are long and I talk a lot. So if you're not into that kind of a thing, this might not be your video. We are, however, gonna talk about Anna. Oh, Anna. I will be going over Anna's competition for Strong Women's competition, probably in this exact same outfit. You're gonna see a lot of this, so you know, get used to it. It doesn't bother me. It just looks awful. But I want to do that obviously in a separate video, and this is Anna's big debut back on YouTube, you guys. She's been gone for almost 6 months, so she needs to post another long form video or she's going to lose her monetization on YouTube. That's the only reason we're getting this video. I just hope you all are aware of that. So there's that. This is just Anna's not remonetization. This is just Anna's maintaining monetization video. Now, she is also going to be sponsored by BetterHelp. Some of you may know what BetterHelp is. Some of you may not. I personally don't like the idea of BetterHelp. I've never used it. So there's that. I've never used it. I do know that some people on YouTube who I do follow do use it. They like it. I've known more people who, not personally, I know of more people who have used it who did not like it. I know it has terrible reviews, and I know it's been I know it's been sued a few times. Let me put it that way. So Anna has a habit of taking sponsorships from companies with questionable backgrounds. BetterHelp, Amazon Medical One, who's currently being sued for malpractice. That was fun to find out. Yeah, so the other end of that is Anna has been sponsored by BetterHelp in the past. So this isn't the first time she's been sponsored by BetterHelp. So this isn't a new sponsor for her. So there's that as well. Anywhere else to go with this one? I think this is the third. I feel like this is the third or fourth time she's done a BetterHelp. Yeah, help. It's BetterHelp. Sponsorship. And I think every time she does one of these, it ends up being some kind of sob story. And then the end of it, she comes out of it, I'm so much stronger than I was before. Thank you, therapy that I never do. Anyway, so before we get into this, we're going to be using our tailor-made 8 principles of dark anthropology. There will be notes down below for you guys. I'll try to remember to cut this one up into chapters. I don't do that for all of my videos anymore, but I was doing it there for a minute, but I'll try to do it for this one only because we're going to be talking about a bunch of different stuff here. So basically we've got the moral masking, which is also strategic performery. Anna's going to moral mask a lot in here. She's going to make herself seem like she has a higher moral standing, a higher ground to stand on than, especially she's going to particularly come after reaction channels. I find that fun. Come for me. She's going to do narrative control. She's going to try to redefine words, redefine concepts. She's going to try to control the language around the conversation in order to maintain control of the conversation. We'll point it out as we come to it. There is a lot of transactional altruism with Anna. Anna views, and has said as much, views her content as a gift to us. Anna's mere presence is a gift to us, and we should be grateful for such a thing. Which is why we don't get anything on YouTube, because we on YouTube are not worthy of Anna. She will go on to say something like, she'll say something like, oh, I'm grateful for the community that I've built on YouTube. Yeah, that's why you don't let anyone comment on your videos ever. Yeah, but she's very transactional with her interactions with especially her audience and her community. And you can subscribe to Anna. Ooh. What do I get? What do I get? Well, now we're going to have to find out. I just noticed she has a subscribe button, which means Anna is monetized. Or at least she has memberships. She's monetized light. Anna's going to be doing a lot of strategic victimhood and empathy mining. They're exactly what you think they are. There's a concept of parasitic intimacy or parasocial embellishment, and that is the parasocial aspect of a creator encouraging a creator encouraging a parasocial relationship with their audience, not them themselves being parasocial with their audience, but they are encouraging a parasocial relationship with their audience with them, right? Anna, I think, thinks she does that, but doesn't do that at all. She's like the anti-parasocial person, but she expects her audience to act towards her as if they had some kind of deeper bond with her than they do, but then does nothing to create that bond. She doesn't interact with her audience. She doesn't listen to her audience. She doesn't go out of her way to give back to her audience in any kind of non-transactional way, right? She's a big YouTuber. Like she lives in a $7,000 apartment. I just want that to be clear. That blew my goddamn mind to find out. Okay? Okay? I was like, no. I was fighting for that one. Sorry, that's the ADHD timer. I was like, there is no way in hell she is paying $7,000 a month for an apartment. Yes, she is. She's paying somewhere around $7,000 a month. Somewhere between $5,000 to $7,000 a month. I mean, get your bag, but you could be interacting with your audience, is my point. The audience that allows you to live in said apartment. There's a lot of ritualized deception that's going to be going on throughout this entire video. This entire video is nothing but ritualized deception. Things like it's not a lie. It's I didn't lie to you. It's I just distorted the truth somewhat. And often you will find that once one lie is laid down, now we have to like build upon it. That creates the ritual of the deception. We're in anthropology, y'all. Everything's ritual here. I think there's even like a shirt somewhere that's like anthropology, it's all ritual or something like that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So yeah, that's the ritualized deception. It's just the constant like repetition of the I am not lying, I am not being deceptive, I am being honest when it is clear that there is deception or there is dishonesty occurring, right? There's another step to this that's disruptive reasoning, and disruptive reasoning is like ritualistic deception, only disruptive reasoning it's basically gaslighting. It's essentially gaslighting, but it also has the added benefit of word salad. It's the best way to describe this one. Disruptive reasoning is gaslighting and word salad mushed into one, right? And Anna's gonna do at least the gaslighting. I don't think she does the word salad so much, but we'll pick up on that. I've only watched this video through once. I should have watched Lindsay's video before I did this video, but I didn't. But here we are. Sorry, Lindsay, I'm a bad fan. And then our final one is the self-mythologizing feedback loops, and that is where the and Anna's bad about this one actually, and we'll hear about it a lot in this one. This video is really good example for this. This is where the creator takes the feedback from their audience or the perceived feedback of the audience upon themselves and starts to internalize it, and then projects it back out. So things like people say X about me, but this is showing how she is reliant upon the audience to validate and reinforce her identity. So she needs her audience to repeat back to her things she says about herself, which is why this community is toxic, because they don't tell her the things she wants to hear. Conversely, any criticism that she receives, which is a lot, she dismisses it as hate or jealousy, further distancing herself from any kind of reaction channels or any kind of that's not the word I'm looking for, any kind of criticism, any kind of naysayers. I'm losing my words already, Jesus. But it also separates people who are critical of her from people who are loyal to her. We'll find that pool is actually dwindling, which is why I think she needed to go and create a new pool of friends. And that's the self-mythologizing feedback loop, where she is using the feedback of her audience, good and or bad, to reinforce her own opinion of herself, or to alter even her opinion of herself, and then project that back at us, right? This video is basically this. I mean, it's like number 8, it's like number 7, it's like number 6. There's not a lot of number 5 in here. There's a whole lot of number 4 going on here. This video is just essentially number 3. We'll go through everything again. I'll try to stop and call things out as we go through it. Like I said, if you've never been in one of these videos before, hi, welcome to my channel. If it says Dark Anthropology in the title, get yourself a drink, get yourself a snack, pull up a chair, get comfy. We're going to be here a minute. Hopefully not too long. How long is this video? How long is this one? It's only 8 minutes long. How bad can it be? I say 13 minutes into the video. All right. Need to turn my cooling pad on so my computer doesn't overheat. Right. I am going to speed her up a teeny tiny bit. She's out. No, there we go. So I just speed her up a little tiny bit. And I'm gonna... Do the closed captions help? You guys let me know if the closed captions help. Because she's already so small over here in the corner. I don't even know if you guys can see her. And I know a lot of you listen, so... Those of you who watch, let me know, because otherwise I'm going to quit doing them, honestly. Because I think if you just do the closed captions to my video, you'll get her closed captions, so maybe I'm overthinking this a bit too much. All right, anyway. I've already said thank you to everybody. I've put down the ground rules. Sorry for the background noise. There may or may not be a cat involved at some point. The window's open, so they like to jump in and out. Can I do her face? I know I can do this face. I just have to be like... No, I can. Like an idiot. Did I get it? Did I get it? All right, anyway, go.
This feels kind of awkward because I haven't done it in so long.
Well, you know, if you did your job, you wouldn't have to worry about it, would you?
I've been MIA, and
She says, I've been MIA. I want to comment on this one. Anna has been MIA from YouTube. Anna acts in this moment as if all of her various social media platforms are completely separate from each other, and they are not. Most people, especially reaction channels, follow her across all of her social media, with maybe the exception of the Viking Princess Lives, even though she's got quite a following, or had, I think she still does, quite a following on the Viking Princess Lives, because a lot of people migrated from Glitter and Lasers over to Viking Princess Lives. So there's a hell of a lot of crossover between her various social media platforms. But the thing is right here, she's like, I've been MIA for a bit. You've been active as hell on social media. You've been posting mostly on Viking Princess Lives, but you've still been posting over on Glitter and Lasers here and there. You've been doing all kinds of like little art projects and stuff over there. You post on your Instagram, you post on your TikTok, both of the TikToks. You've been here. You just haven't been posting on YouTube. So, like, what is that about? And I swear I'm going to get copyright hit for this stupid fucking music that she has in the background. So, just ahead of time, I'm sorry. But let's go.
there's actually been a really good reason. So let's just get into it. Oh,
There's actually been a really good reason. Spoilers, she never gives it to us. And I like how she's like, oh, and before we get into it, this video is sponsored by BetterHelp. Like it's a second thought. This is supposed to be an infomercial, for those of you that remember late night television, for BetterHelp. I think because of that, we actually get to have comments on this one. We'll go check here in a minute, but
before I do, this video is actually sponsored by BetterHelp.
who are you talking to?
So this right.
Who are you looking at? She's looking over here. She can't even look at us. Like, remember, for those of you who watch all of my videos, because I know all of you watch every one of my videos. Rosie recently did a sitting down and scolding us video. All of the girls are mad at us right now, I've noticed. They're all mad at us, and they're scolding us for not being their hug boxes. But Rosie gave us a scolding the other day where she filmed the video so that she was basically like turned like this the whole time. So she's looking over here so that she could dramatically look at us when she had a point to make. And then she talked over here for the majority of the video. Then she would look at us dramatically. I don't really recall if Anna makes a dramatic turn toward, because the camera's here. The camera's over here. And she's over here. What the fuck is she looking at? This is a scolding video. All right, this video is squarely part of Anna's cycle. It's definitely part of Anna's cycle. It's the stage. Let me pull up my thing. Hang on. Okay, this is, in my opinion, I think this is definitely like a phase 3 outside feedback defensive obfuscation moment, and or a phase 4 off-platform defense. Because follow me on the off-platform defensiveness / defensive convincing. It's not we're not at phase 5 yet. We're not at the contradictory reveal. This is based off of Sam at Every Sizes, by the way. I'll try to link that down below. But I do have a link to this chart. I don't have it up on the screen. Anyway, the point is, the reason why I think this qualifies as off-platform defensiveness is because YouTube, though it has one of her larger audiences, I think it's her second largest audience is on YouTube, she never posts over here. So she's pretty much trained her audience over here to not pay attention, right? So I argue that in a way, YouTube does qualify as an off-platform defensiveness. So I think at this point we can qualify that. That's my personal opinion. Argue with me down below if you would like. This is definitely defensive obfuscation, and because she is definitely being defensive, and she is definitely trying to like bury the lead, like a cat buries a turd in a cat box. Right. And yeah, and then there's a lot of defensive convincing going on in this one because Anna is this is I guess this is part of the dark anthropology, I guess. It's definitely part of the defensive convincing because I don't know who the fuck she's trying to convince, but she's definitely trying to convince her audience. But I think she's also trying to convince herself. I think everything Anna does is trying to convince herself. I look like I went around with Muhammad Ali and like didn't make it. I look like I stepped into the ring and I took one pop to the eye and I was like, "Nah, I'm done. I'm good. You're the king. I'm good." Like I would for some reason challenge Muhammad Ali. Be like, "Nah, man, I don't think you can float like a butterfly or sting like a bee. This is what you get." And he's like, "Really? Step into that ring." And I'm like, "All right, fine. Let's see. Bring it." And he was like, "You do understand that I am Muhammad Ali, right?" And I'm like, yeah, bring it." And then the next thing I know, I got this on my eye. I don't know what happened there. Welcome to my channel. Anyway, so yes. So what was my 2 points? Don't challenge Muhammad Ali. This is a commercial. This is an infomercial for BetterHelp, and also this is well within the mid to final stages of Anna's cycle. So be prepared for a full on crash out here soon. And I think with her god damn it words. I think with her competition having to have occurred this past Saturday, I think we are scheduled for a full ass crash, which would be the completion of the cycle. Anyway, onward.
Right here is me when I was 13. And I was so unsure of myself. I just wanted, like any other teenager, to belong, to feel, I guess, popular. And if I could speak to that version of myself right now, I would tell her that you have absolutely no clue how strong you're going to become. You have
I want to say something about this picture. And look, I know this is going to come off harsh because I know it's going to come off harsh. I wasn't raised Mormon. I wasn't raised religious. This is a 13-year-old. All right, this is a 13-year-old back in like the 90s-ish. Because she's 41 now. Even back then, this is an atrocious fucking outfit, all right? This haircut is terrible. This haircut was never popular. All right? Maybe in the 50s. This dress is, I'm sorry, I don't know who looks at this dress and goes, "Yeah, that's great for a 13-year-old." And these shoes are an abomination upon God, okay? Anna's 13 in this picture. This is not Anna's fault, okay? This is Anna's parents dressing her this way. And I get that she was raised Mormon. I don't think she was... Somebody was telling me she's a Utah Mormon. I think she lived in Ohio her whole life, but I could be wrong about that one. I don't remember her saying anything about Utah, but I can go back and check my notes. The point being, because it's irrelevant to my point. My point being, I personally, this is my personal opinion. I know someone out there is going to be offended by this, but this is my personal opinion. This is cruel, okay? This is just cruel treatment. This is awful. There is no way as a parent you dressed your kid like this and you were like, "Yeah, that's fine." And then you sent your kid to school looking like this. Like, you basically just put a sign on your kid, "Bully me." I mean, kids are assholes. I'm not even trying to sugarcoat this thing, okay? Kids are assholes. Kids in high school are even bigger assholes. She's 13. You sent her to school looking like this? The fuck were you thinking? That's a message to her parents. And the little things we learn about Anna here and there, like in her book and this little story, and every now and then she'll drop a little nugget here and there. It makes certain aspects of Anna's personality and the shit that she does as an adult, it makes certain things click. And I'm just like, oh, okay, well, I mean, that explains a lot. Suddenly that makes sense. So what my point is I'm not holding this against Anna. This isn't Anna's fault. But this explains a lot about this. I mean, there's a point. Anna's 41. Don't get me wrong. There is a point where you have to grow up and you have to like take responsibility for your own fucking life. And this is a commercial for Better Health. Better Health. I am determined that it is Better Health. I am fucking determined that is the name of this goddamn company. It is not. This is even though this is a picture of a 13-year-old and I'm, rawr. This is a setup for both empathy mining. We're not quite at strategic victimhood yet, but this is empathy mining. And this is also the setup for disruptive reasoning. Because Anna is doing two things here. She's establishing a backstory. She's establishing a backstory here of her childhood self. I think she knows that this picture is going to induce some kind of like pity response, kind of like what I had. Because, I mean, for realsies. So she's using this picture in two ways, right? So she's using it as a way to set up her own backstory. And, I mean, most people know that Anna had she didn't have the roughest childhood, but she didn't have a great childhood either. Like, she had, of the girls, she seems to have the stablest of homes, but it still doesn't mean she had a great childhood, right? Anyway, it's not like she was passed around like Amber was, or I don't even know what Foodie's background is, to be honest with you, because Foodie, I can't deal with Foodie. But that's kind of my point. Anyway, so she's setting up the stage for her disruptive reasoning, and she's setting up the stage for her. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out before we get too far into this.
I would tell her that you have absolutely no. And if I could speak to that version of myself right now, I would tell her that you have absolutely no clue how strong you're going to become.
Okay, and then that part there, you have absolutely no clue how strong you're going to become. That's strategic performity. It's a form of moral masking, because she's like, oh, because she knows that picture shows a child in distress, even though it doesn't look like it. To her, that's a child in distress, because she knows what she was like when she was 13, right? And so now she's like, you have no idea how strong you're going to become. And that's a form of moral masking, because she's like, you poor child, you are going to become queen of the world someday. It's just a way of like showing how much better she is today, right? Compared to that person that she was back then. It's also a form of narrative control. Like I said, she was setting up those two steps back there, and now she's setting up this narrative, because now she is saying, she even goes on to call herself a badass and things like that. So she is setting up the narrative that she is this powerful, independent, badass of a woman. I'm not going to take everything away from Anna. Like, Anna is definitely, she's very independent. She's a badass in her own head. Anna has done a lot of things. Like, she's gone a lot of places. She continues to get sponsorships. She continues to go to these galas and things for big brands, big names. I mean, Anna does shit, all right? Anna gets trained by top name trainers. I mean, she's doing something right. I don't get it, but she's doing something right, is kind of my point. Do I think she's a badass? Anyway, the point is, that's part of the narrative that Anna has about herself, which also goes back into our the self-mythologizing feedback loop. Because if I now sit here and go, yeah, but badass, there are people I would describe that way. You're not on that list. Suddenly I become somebody who's like hateful or jealous. I mean, there are things Anna does where I'm like, man, that looks nice. That's not one of them. It's not one of them. So there you go. That's kind of the thing I'm talking about here. So those are the two things that we're seeing there as far as the principles here. This whole video, man. This whole fucking video. We're not even a minute in. I'm gonna shut up now.
No idea how much life you're going to live. You don't know it yet, but one day you're going to become kind of a badass.
Okay, comparatively, sure. Comparatively, sure. I'll give it. I'll let you have that one. I'll let you have it. Comparatively, sure. Comparatively.
I think what nostalgia can do sometimes is make us miss more than just a moment.
It's just a moment.
It makes us miss almost like a feeling of when things felt easier, like we belonged, like we had more connections.
When I've puzzled over this, I guess maybe this is word salad here. So yeah, I guess maybe we are doing. I guess we are doing a little bit of the disruptive reasoning here, because yeah, this, I think what she's trying to describe is golden age syndrome, where you look back on your past or the past and you think that everything was better back then because you don't have complete memories of the past anymore. And so you're like, oh, I remember, you remember the good times. Or, you know, you go back for like a societal collective memory, and like society's like, oh yeah, the 50s where men were men and women were women. Yeah, it wasn't like that though. It wasn't anything like that. I think that's what she's trying to describe here, is like a personal golden age syndrome. And I'm not apologizing for this freeze frame, by the way. But the way she's going about it is very confusing. So I'm not entirely sure. Because I've heard her talk about her past, and it's not, she doesn't typically talk about it in like a golden agey kind of way. So, and she even opened this with, you know, oh, the 13-year-old self, don't worry, it gets better. That's not a golden agey type statement. So I don't know. I still don't understand where this statement was going. I guess is where I was trying to go with that. I'm still confused, but anyway, word salad.
Before life got busy, before grief, before complicated relationships.
I promise you we will get through this video. One thing I want to point out is something that she brings up here, and I think she brings it up 2 or 3 more times. I could check the transcripts, but she will bring it up more than once, is the concept of grief and dealing with grief. And I found that very interesting because I don't often hear, I don't think I've ever heard her talk about grief specifically. I know she's talked about the loss of her mother and her sister before. She's written a blog about it. I know she's got I gotta find the video. She has a video where she kind of talks around the topic of it. But this is the first time I've ever heard her directly comment on dealing with grief. So I just found that interesting. It's not like something that I want to point out and be like, oh my God. It is a detail I want to point out, that this is this is the only time I've ever heard, and it doesn't mean it's the only time she's ever said it. It's just the only time I've ever heard it where she has directly said that she is dealing with grief. And she's got stuff in her past to deal with. Like when she says, I'm dealing with grief, I believe her. There are things that she has, and I could 100% believe that she never fully dealt with the grief of her loss, right? You don't have to work hard to convince me of that one, right? So I just find it very interesting that this time with better help, that she's working on grief. I don't know if I would choose BetterHelp to do that with. That's a lot of work. Dealing with grief's a lot of work, and I don't know if I would want to do that online with someone who may or may not actually be a therapist. Yeah, anyway, I got off on a tangent. Sorry about that.
Before growing up. And what I've learned is that therapy can help with that. And that's not by making the past disappear, by the way. It's by allowing you to learn how to grieve and process those things and not get stuck there.
It's interesting that she says, make the past disappear. It kind of makes me think that in the past, that's what she has tried to do, or that's what she has thought that therapy was meant to do, was to make her past disappear, or maybe make the memory of the past disappear. And I mean, that the girls give themselves away with the way they talk about therapy, and that in that I know that they haven't really gone to therapy. Like maybe they've gone into the therapist office and sat there they've done their like initial interview, right? But they've never really done the work of a therapist because like they say things like that. Or they'll do things like, "Oh, I went for 2 sessions and now I'm better." All 4 of y'all are not a one and done kind of a thing. Seriously. You're not. And hearing Anna say something to the effect of like making the past go away. It's just little things like that that make me go, "Oh yeah, you really haven't ever put the work in to therapy." Like again, maybe you've gone to a therapist, maybe you've sat with a therapist, maybe you even did a few sessions, but you never really did therapy. You just showed up. Hope you can't hear that.
BetterHelp makes starting therapy a lot easier. If you're thinking about it, you can actually take a quiz, get matched to a provider, and if it's not the right fit, you can switch at any time for no cost.
You can always tell when she's doing a commercial because she's just got these certain. She has a certain set of expressions, a certain way of talking, and a certain set of hand gestures that she uses. Those are her infomercial expressions and hand gestures. This is her explaining face. This is how she explains things to you. It's Anna in explanation mode.
It's a super flexible way to start, and you can communicate in the way that's easiest for you, whether that is text, phone, or video. You can click the link down in the description or go to betterhelp.com/glittering lasers to get 10% off your first month of therapy.
I've already said that I don't like BetterHelp. I don't think that you can't get good help over text or video or that kind of a thing. I personally, this is my personal opinion, I don't like it myself. I prefer in-person visits. And I've talked with my therapist about that because she will do tele stuff. She would do it if I would let her. So it's not that I couldn't do those if I wanted to, but it's just not something I want to do. But I know for some people that will help. I just don't like BetterHelp. They just have a bad reputation if you really start looking into them. And I just personally would never recommend them, and I don't like when people on YouTube start recommending them. Like I said, there's a couple people that I do follow who use it and they claim that it helps them a lot. Glitter and Lasers is not one of them. But this is not the first time Glitter and Lasers, I don't know why I keep saying that. This is not the first time Anna has advertised for BetterHelp either, so this is not a new sponsorship for her. We have a baby. We have a baby. What you do? Oh, we have a fuzzy boy. Oh, I know. And neither of us are ready for this yet. I love you so much. Yes. Yes. Afternoon cuddles time. Is it afternoon cuddles time? Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh my god, please don't take out my computer.
Your past matters, but so does the future you're building right now. Now, speaking of the future we're building right now, I have been doing a lot of work on that, and that is why I haven't been here. Because I needed to go, as the youth of this generation say, touch grass. I feel like it's very easy as a creator to lose a sense of what is real. A lot of people yell a lot of things at you, both positive and negative, all day, every day. And it's hard to sort through that rationally. It's hard to...
Anna! He is not amused. Where was I going with this? People yelling things at Anna and it being confusing. Anna gets overwhelmed by the internet because Anna, I really do think Anna seeks stuff out, and she used to have a social media manager. Haha, look, I got it out. But that person, I believe, left her employment around December. Anna lost all of her employees in December, it sounds like. So I don't know who's doing this one. I don't know who's editing this video. It's not John. Maybe it is. Maybe she did this before John left. Maybe. I doubt it. But it's possible. And Anna really needs to not be on the internet. Or she needs to like learn to step back after reading things. But this is Anna trying to control the narrative here. This is narrative control. This is number 2, narrative control, where she's trying to set up the idea that the feedback that she's receiving on the internet, because she's talking about the internet, is all very loud and it's very in her face and it's very confrontational, and she has a hard time processing it, and she's setting up the argument that this is all very negative and very targeted, right? So she's establishing the language and the discussion in a way that she can control it going forward, right? A lot of the someday we'll get through the beginning of this video. A lot of the beginning of this video is establishing the ground rules for what she is going to be saying later on in the video when we get further than 2.5 minutes into it. But this is narrative control going on right here.
Hear yourself in the sea of all those voices. I just wanted to hear myself again. And I think that's what I've really been working on and am proud of, kind of the progress I've made.
I'm proud of me. I want to thank me for showing up for me because I'm so awesome. I do want to point out, because I know somebody will point this out, right about, where is it? Did I catch it? Right about here-ish.
Right now. Now, speaking of the future we're building right now, I have been doing a lot of work on that. And that is why I haven't been here.
Her closing, you just saw that. That's why I haven't been here. And she very obviously closes the lid of the lid. She closes her laptop because she's done with her BetterHelp script. It's funny. It's cute. It's an oops, but whatever. Look at her face. And I wouldn't be here now if I wasn't going to lose monetization. I hate it here. Why do you people make me come here? Why can't you just give me money for existing? Where was I going with this? It doesn't really mean anything. It's just kind of a funny little thing to catch in the video. I know someone's going to point it out. I just want to point out that yes, I saw it. So she clearly had a script for BetterHelp, but I think BetterHelp sends, I would assume, BetterHelp sends you a script because pretty much everybody I've ever seen shill for BetterHelp has the same script. So there's that. Oh my god. I don't think they let you freestyle it because they need to be very specific about what you say. Where are we going with this? Oh, yes. I forgot where we are. We're just going to pick up from here then. Let's go. Sorry about the repeat. Nope.
Because I needed to go, as the youth of this generation say, touch grass. I feel like it's very easy as a creator to lose a sense of what is real.
I don't have that problem? Question mark? I will say, all right, I will say to this. I have noticed that if I let myself, I will get way too obsessed with the everyday of Girl World, and I don't need to be. I know a lot of you. See, the thing is, it's not all of you, but when you combine all of you together, all of you are on every detail of the Girl World at all times. Does that make sense? It's not one person who is always focused on Girl World all the time, but when you combine everybody who watches Girl World all together, it's like there's one person who's always on Girl World all the time, right? And sometimes it feels like, just setting my timer, sometimes it does feel like that one person is like always on me to always be aware of everything that's happening in Girl World, which just isn't possible. So sometimes I do feel like I need to be watching every little second of everything that happens. And again, that's just not possible. And so there are times where I have to like remind myself to step back and be like, look, this is fun. This is fun. These are my shows, okay? These are my shows. Step back. So yeah, so I can kind of see that there, but I don't think I've ever like disassociated from reality because of it. I think if anything, I've become like hyper aware of reality. Maybe. So I guess to each their own, I guess. So there's that. But touching grass is good. That's why I take the weekends off, which is usually when the girls all pop off, because apparently during the week would be asking too much. Why can't you guys have your crises during the week? Anyway.
A lot of people yell a lot of things at you, both positive and negative, all day, every day.
We're back here again.
And it's hard to sort through that rationally. It's hard.
Why is it hard to sort through that rationally? This is something that she's always had an issue with. And this does go back to the self-mythologizing feedback loop, the sorting through criticism and comments rationally. She can't. Anna has never been able to take criticism. She, even all the way back in her book, said that criticism is bullying. So any form of criticism to Anna is mean-spirited and bullying, even when it's something like, hey, you shouldn't do XYZ because it will jeopardize your channel. It'll, make you look like something that you're not. She can't take any form of criticism, even if it's helpful. And criticism isn't by default negative, right? But for Anna, anything that isn't someone going, oh my God, Anna, you're so awesome and so wonderful, and you have the prettiest hair and the prettiest eyes, and everything you do is the most wonderfulest, coolest thing that ever happened on this planet. Unless you're doing that, anything else that you do or say is negative, and it's hateful, and you're just being a jealous, nasty person and you're ruining the internet for everyone. You're the people that ruin the internet. I need a t-shirt that says that. I am the person that ruins the internet. Trust me, I am not. But yeah, so her not being able to sort through the comments and criticisms rationally, and hearing her admit that, I don't think she realized she admitted that, but hearing her admit that really does kind of like explain a lot. But it also points out that why Anna had like a PR person and really still needs a PR person, because she's been having crash outs a lot lately, especially with the Viking Princess Lift stuff. So, I mean, I know you can afford it, Anna. You probably should rehire somebody to maintain your social media for you, because it's just, you're not doing a good job at it. And if you're not going to learn how to rationally differentiate between positive and negative criticism or just comments in general, you need someone else to do it for you. But anyway.
Hard to hear yourself in the sea of all those voices. I just wanted to hear myself again. And I think that's what I've really been working on and am proud of. Kind of
screaming quietly inside a chamber. No, sorry. There was a joke there. I missed it.
The progress I've made. I also really wanted to build some significant offline relationships and even like a community that doesn't exist around who I am online.
That's fair. Well, that's just fair. I think IRL relationships are important. However, this is a form of manipulation. This does fall into our principles. I don't think there's anything wrong with having IRL relationships. I think they're perfectly healthy, and I think everyone should have them. Okay? But her pointing this out, this is a form of empathy mining. This is part of her parasitic intimacy, because it could also really kind of fall under the altruism, her conditional altruism, because like she's taking her presence away from the internet because she needs to build real relationships with real people. You know, touching grass kind of implies certain things, and you know that these things are not real. I'm going to go touch grass. I'm going to go touch reality. That's literally what that means. And then, you know, she's like, I want to build real world relationships, implying that the internet is not the real world, which I don't necessarily disagree with. It's just for her to say those kind of things does kind of imply that she is withdrawing her presence from people who are not real to her to go build relationships with people who are. Again, I don't necessarily disagree, but this is what we're doing here, so you know, it is that. But she is empathy mining here, you know. I needed to hear myself. I couldn't hear myself. I needed to go and build relationships with real people that didn't revolve around my internet personality. I'm mildly interested to see if her real personality is like her internet personality, because I wager pretty heavily that it is, or very similar. So that's something. But it does also build on that parasitic intimacy, that parasocial relationship that she thinks she has with her audience. Anna, in my opinion, Anna thinks she has a closer and more parasocial relationship with her, or that her audience has a more parasocial relationship with her than I think they actually do. And because of that, Anna thinks she can talk to her audience the way that she does, and it has some kind of impact on them. Whereas over here on YouTube, because she ignores us, because she hates us, because we dare to be critical of her, God forbid, her scolding us like, you know, bad, naughty little school children, it doesn't affect us because we don't have that relationship with her. We don't think she's the coolest thing since sliced bread, right? We don't have a problem being critical, and we don't have a problem pointing out when she does things that are ridiculous or not what she thinks they are, right? And so when she criticizes, or she's criticizing us. So when she scolds us like this, we don't act like a scolded dog. We don't like, oh God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to anger you, Anna. We don't do that over here. Maybe if she had maintained her audience over here, not turned off her comments. I mean, even if she just like curated her comments, but she just cut everybody off and ran. So she doesn't have that audience over here anymore. She has us, who she will get to in a minute. But like, that's it. And I don't care. So there's that. But yeah, and then yeah, we're still in the disruptive reasoning here. We're still word salady, dancing around the topic, trying to keep the goalpost moving. I don't think we've really gotten into the like you're misunderstanding me yet. We're gonna get there, I feel like, but we're not there yet. Yeah, so let's keep going. Someday we'll get there. See, I told you this would be a long ass video. I'm sorry. Shut up now.
I love this community, and I love the amazing things that I've been able to do for and with this community. And because
the amazing things I've been able to do for this community. That right there is transactional altruism 101. Anna doesn't say the amazing things that I have seen with this community or that this community has done for me. She starts off with the amazing things I've been able to do for this community. She always puts herself and the stuff that she gives to the community first. She is gracing this community, and I must assume she's talking to the YouTube community, because this is a made for YouTube video. There's only one place this video is going. So she's talking about her YouTube community. So all of the amazing things she has done for her YouTube community, like turning off the comments so that no one can interact with her ever again. That's amazing, Anna. Thank you. You did that for me. I'm so happy. You stopped making content altogether. That is just the bestest thing that you could ever have done for us. I don't know how to thank you enough. You completely ignored when your audience was like, hey, we don't want to see certain types of content, or if you're going to continue to do that kind of content, we still want to see the hauls. And then you stopped doing that altogether and just completely pivoted into the wellness and fitness stuff. Even though people were like, yeah, but we'd still like to see hauls because you started this channel as a fashion channel. Yeah, that you did such amazing things for this community. Thank you, Anna. So thank you. Thank you for your sacrifice. But that also falls back on the parasitic intimacy. She thinks she has a stronger relationship with this community than she actually does, to the point where we're going to be like, oh my god, yes, you've done so much for us. Where's that stuff? Where's that thing, those things that you have done for us? Yeah, but it also is the narrative control. She is telling us that she has done things for us, and how dare we question otherwise, right? And it's also a form of moral masking, because she has done good things for us, right? She's done good for this community. How dare we question otherwise? I don't think she's necessarily done bad for the... Well, okay, maybe never mind. I was like, well, the medical misinformation. Never mind. So she's hitting a lot of notes here, like with this whole, like, the things I've been able to do, the things I do for you. All the things I do for you, right? So she's moral masking here. She's narrative controlling. She's obviously with the altruism, transactional altruism. She's definitely empathy mining, setting herself up for strategic victimhood. I do things for you, and you are not grateful. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. How many? Okay. We all have that person in our lives. How many of you have had that argument with that person? But I've done these things for you and you're not grateful for them. Yeah, and that parasitic intimacy. Yeah, and again, the self-mythologizing feedback loop. Anna thinks that she has... she thinks her audience here on YouTube, because this video is made for YouTube, so she's talking about her YouTube audience. So Anna thinks she has a tighter, more intimate relationship with her YouTube audience than she clearly does. Because we'll see in the comment section, because I think maybe there might be comments turned on. I haven't checked. But she's got 2.3 million subscribers over here, and she doesn't talk to any of them through comments. I don't know if they DM her or somewhere or something else through other means, but if they are solely relying on YouTube to communicate with her, she doesn't talk to them at all, because she turns the comments off. I don't know if they are off on this one. We'll check. A lot of times with the sponsored content, you have to have the comments on. Boy, this video, I tell you, it's taken forever. So we'll see, but that's going to be at the end of the video, because this is already too long. All right, anyway.
Because of this community, honestly. But it is still virtual, and many of you I will never get to meet in real life. And I was missing some of that deeper connection that really only comes from face-to-face communication. And honestly, if anything, over the past several months, I've realized how valuable in-person interaction with people is.
I've learned how valuable in-person interaction with people is. So you should totally use this app for virtual therapy. Okay, cool.
And I had not been doing enough of that. That's my fault. It's so easy to get caught up in this world. It's so easy to. And I'm not.
It's so easy to get caught up in this world. What world, Anna? What world are you getting caught up in? The internet? What world are you talking about?
Discrediting online communication. They can be super powerful tools for change.
I mean, you better not be discrediting online communication. You're literally shilling for BetterHelp. I got it right this time. Because they are an online therapy tool. So there are no in-person therapy sessions with BetterHelp. So,
But there's just something different about sitting with someone and laughing with them and feeling that like raw energy from the person you're with. And I built like a little family outside of this world, and it's been really healthy for me. I don't have anything else to say about it than that. It's
still hasn't explained why she hasn't been around, by the way. This is not her explanation. This is her saying, I don't like this online world. I don't like the YouTube community. I needed real world. I needed to touch grass, and I needed the real world community that I built. I don't disagree with her. I really don't. I think leaving social media and touching grass is probably one of the healthier things she could do, because she clearly can't handle it, right? Anytime she gets challenged online, she loses her fucking shit. So she's clearly not happy online. Okay? So yeah, maybe not being online is the best thing for you. However, you're being incredibly condescending right now. I don't know if you know that. I don't think you do, which is kind of weird because, like, in the corporate world, like, your shtick was marketing and communications. How do you not understand that you're being a condescending B word right now? But yeah, this could fall again under the parasitic intimacy. It definitely falls under empathy mining. Guys, I needed real world communication. I need real world contact with real people. You're not real people. You couldn't possibly fulfill my needs. I needed real people. I mean, she does. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it could fall under that one. Definitely, it's narrative control, and not necessarily. I was gonna try to like shoehorn that into moral masking, but it's really not. I mean, maybe I could, but it's really not.
been nice to feel like there's a space where I'm just Anna, and I will always also be glitter and lasers.
Will you though? Because you're doing a damn good job of killing that off. Like you're actively, and have been for many years at this point. Basically, since I started reacting to you, you have actively been trying to get rid of your glitter and lasers brand. Whether you will admit that or not is another story, but your actions and your content and the way that you treat your audience around your glitter and laser brand has been very much how someone who is done being glitter and lasers would act, because you are dismissive, you are hostile, you phone it in 90% of the time, you don't appear to enjoy making content for glitter and lasers anymore. Like, it's very clear that you don't want to be here. So I don't think you'll always be glitter. I don't think you want to be glitter and lasers anymore. And I have been saying that literally since I started reacting to you. So the better part of 2 years at this point. And I think it's just finally, I mean, when did you, it's been almost a year now since you basically stopped making content for YouTube. Like, she's occasionally put videos out here and there, but the gaps in between the videos are huge. She doesn't really do very good videos when she does put them out. And the last couple videos have had gaps so huge in between them that they're basically just being put out so that she doesn't lose her monetization. Like, that's literally the only reason that they're going out.
But it is such a small part of who I am that it's good to be myself fully. And it's so weird to say that, because it's not like I've showed up on the internet as anything other than myself at any time.
You've kind of said that more than once now, though. Like, you've kind of said that this isn't the real you. Like, multiple times now in this video, even. That we don't know the real you. We don't know what you're like. Sorry. Again, this is narrative control. This is strategic performative. This is empathy mining as well. This easily can fall under transactional altruism in that she is saying that she is giving us her true self and kind of hinting at not being able to give us her true self, therefore she has to perform and give us her false self. It's thereby being like, well, if you want to see the real me, you need to make this space more hospitable to me. And I mean, I don't know what you want from us. It's the internet. And also, again, this goes back to that parasocial, parasitic intimacy. Anna's trying to create or trying to maintain a parasocial relationship with her audience that I personally just don't think she has. And since she turns off comments, I can't verify if she does or doesn't. There's no comments to verify one way or the other.
But again, the camera only captures so much of my life. And it's
And that was number 7, which was disruptive reasoning. It's also ritualized deception. At the same time that she's like gaslighting us, that like, you don't know what I'm like. She's also like, basically like, well, what I present to the camera is the real me, but also it's not the real me. Which gives her the ability to be like, when she does something that's particularly egregious, she can fall back on that disruptive reasoning of like, well, you know, that's not really what I'm like. You're just seeing what you want to. She does that all the time. You're just seeing what you want to see in me. That's a you problem. That's on you, boo boo. That's a direct quote from her. That kind of a thing. So at the same time that she's, you know, word salading, gaslighting us, she's also building on the greater lie of she is being authentic with us, but she's not. But she is, but she's not. But she is. Well, which is it? Are you or aren't you? But I am. Oh. But you just said, no. But I am, but I'm not. I don't understand. So, yeah. Like, even she's confused. This is the voice of someone who's confused themselves.
creates a lack of depth in the understanding of me.
And again, this is disruptive reasoning. You guys can't possibly understand me. You don't have the depth. You don't have the depth to understand me. She has directly called us stupid. She has directly called people on the internet, all of us, not just reactors, all of us, stupid. Just want to remind people of that.
By both people that like me and people that don't like me. And I'm appreciative of that depth now. If anything, it's made me appreciate that diversity of who I am. There's been a lot of conversation still about me, and I'm sure that someone is going to watch and react to this video, because that's what always happens when I post anything. Even when I think it's the most boring stuff on the planet, there's always something that gets said or done or torn apart about it. And it's kind of like something that I've just come to expect, which is, you know, a little sad.
Why is it sad? It means you're relevant. If we didn't make videos about you, you wouldn't have anyone talking about you. Like, ever. Because nobody writes positive shit about you anymore. Nobody's writing articles about you. No one's doing interviews with you. The only press you get these days is us. So, why is that sad?
I like to think I don't care what people think about me or what they say about me, but always there will be some part of me that always cares.
There's a big part of you that cares, and we know that because we see it on a regular basis.
That's human. And I'm almost scared if that wasn't the case. Like, I think that would be just incredibly unhealthy.
Why would it be unhealthy to not care what random strangers on the internet think about you? There are a lot of people who are on the internet who don't care what other people on the internet think about them. They don't go looking for other people's opinions about them. When other people's opinions about them are brought to their attention, they go, thanks, and don't go any further with that, it's real easy to not care what other people's opinions are about you in general, in life, on the internet. It's even easier on the internet because you can just ignore it. It's not like it's not like someone runs up to you like in real life. It's not like someone runs up to you and goes, "You're ugly," right into your face, because that's a little harder to ignore because they're right there in your face. That's a little harder to ignore. But like on the internet, they're off on some forum somewhere writing shit about you, and okay, it brings them joy. I don't even know what that forum is. You know, like, the only way that you know that we're making these videos and we're talking about you on the Reddits and other places is because you're looking for it. Or you've got somebody who's out there trolling for it and telling you. And like, all I can tell you is to politely say, hey, I appreciate that you're keeping an eye out for me, but it's just, I don't need this information. Because you don't. There's nothing you can do about it. They're going to talk about you one way or the other. They're going to make stories up one way or the other. There's really nothing you can do. So why are you getting so fucking bent about it? And like, why is it unhealthy to not care what random people on the internet think about you? They're random fucking people on the internet. Anyway, I'm rambling.
If you didn't have some type of reaction to what people felt about you, both positive and negative. But I think what I've learned is that not every person's perspective of me has an equal value.
I mean, that's true too. And to go in the opposite direction though, like, I don't know what random people's positive reactions to me are either. I mean, I love hearing that people like my stuff. Don't get me wrong. But like, I don't go seeking validation either. I love when people leave comments. I do. And I try to like interact with as many comments as I can. But like, I don't go trolling the internet looking for people talking positively about me, because that's weird too. That's also a very strange thing to do. I don't vanity search myself. That way lies madness. You know, it's I can't help people's opinion of me positively or negatively, so why the fuck do I care? I can't care. I can't. You cannot care. It's not good for you, Anna. So stop doing it.
Because a lot of times people's perspectives of us carry baggage from that individual. So it's
I want to back this one up some. Okay.
learned is that not every person's perspective of me has an equal value. Because a lot of times people's perspectives of us carry baggage from that individual. So
all right, so going back to what we actually came here to talk about. This is a bit of disruptive reasoning. And yeah, this is a bit of disruptive reasoning. Not everyone's opinion has equal value, because oftentimes that person's perspective of us carries baggage from that individual. Ergo, not everybody's opinion is valid because that person is flawed. That person who doesn't like us as us opinion of us is flawed, inherently flawed. So not only is this disruptive reasoning, we are completely dismissing people because their opinions are inherently flawed. So why should I listen to them? I mean, don't get me wrong. I just made a huge argument as to why you should do just exactly that. But this is also moral masking. I am above these people morally. These people are beneath me morally because they are inherently flawed. I don't know how. I'm not going to explain to you why or how, but they have their own baggage, and that baggage makes them and their opinions unworthy of my attention. I mean, again, I just had a huge ass rant about why I agree But the point is, that's the argument being made here. My other thing here is that as much as Anna like goes off on people, I do truly believe that she does have like a superiority complex and does actually believe this. And I think that's one of the reasons why she gets so pissed off when people don't agree with her and don't hug box her, is because she's just like, why don't you like me? I'm the best thing ever, right? Like Anna walks into a room and just assumes she's the best person in the room and then gets irritated when people don't immediately gravitate towards her and tell her how awesome she is, right? Because I do think that also, like most people, I think Anna also has like a little, maybe more than a little imposter syndrome. And when she doesn't immediately get reinforced that she is indeed the coolest person in the room, that imposter syndrome starts to sink in. I think that's all I wanted to do with that one. I just wanted to point out how she is like othering people who don't like her because obviously they are wrong. They are obviously wrong because they have issues. People who like me don't have issues. Those people are right. Those people are right on the money. People who don't like me clearly have problems.
So it's not even necessarily a perspective of you, it's a perspective of 20 relationships they've had to people that they feel are similar to you but may or may not be.
Yeah, well.
And that's why relationships are incredibly complex. That's why they're confusing. That's why people do things that don't make sense, because we always look at it as one interaction, but the reality is it's a sum of experiences they've had in their life that's driving their behavior. And
I will take relationship advice from almost anyone except you. You will never convince me that you have enough experience to be giving out relationship advice.
I'm not responsible for all of those experiences.
That is true. I am not responsible for those experiences. That is true. You are not responsible for the experiences of other people unless you were somehow directly involved with those experiences, which, again, I highly doubt. So, it's fair. I'll let you have that one.
Really learned to find where I value feedback and where I value perspective.
So nowhere? Sorry. Where I really value feedback and where I value perspective. So nowhere. Anna is very much, okay, Anna is the embodiment of, if I wanted your opinion, I'd give it to you. That is Anna. If I wanted your opinion, I'd give it to you. I haven't heard that one in a minute, but yeah, that's Anna.
And tune everything else out. And that doesn't mean that I'm immune to it. Some days it still gets me because I am human. I'm just learning balance.
Yeah, I'm gonna let her play out. I've been beating these principles to death at this point. At this point, you guys can probably just start applying these principles yourselves. All right. So at minute 6:16, what principles do you think I'm going to say? Put your comments down below, along with the timestamp of this video so that I remember that I asked you that question.
And I'm learning perspective. I think I've always known these things. I just am seeing them clearer now. And like I said, it's so easy to get caught up.
At 41, you're finally figuring this shit out. I'm just, you've been through college. You did communications and stats. You're just now fucking figuring this shit out. Okay.
In the noise. It's so, because we only hear the people who scream. And probably the most influential people in your life aren't going to scream. They're going to whisper.
I don't know. The squeaky wheel gets oiled.
I am still very imperfect. And I will continue.
Can I clip that? Can I clip that and play that back to you like 5 million times over and over and over again? I'm going to replay this because she actually says something else that I really want to go off on. You guys say you like these longer videos.
Influential people in your life aren't going to scream. They're going to whisper. I am still very imperfect. And I will continue to be imperfect until the day I die because I'm human. And I think the demand for perfection online is like just entirely unrealistic. Like, if anything, lifting has taught me that progress is the real goal.
I thought she said something else here about how we expect her to be perfect. Maybe I misheard her the first time. I thought the first time I heard this video that she implied that we expect her to be perfect. And I know I went off on that. about how, like, no, if anything, we're the ones telling you that you need to quit trying to be perfect because you're not fucking perfect. But there's no point in me going off on that rant because that's not what I heard. So, sorry.
That you're always in striving to be better. But if you chase perfection, you're just never going to be happy because it's not real. In the words of Ben Folds, there's always someone cooler than you. And that is factual.
I quote a lot of random shit, but I don't think I've ever quoted Ben Folds.
I don't think the people who make videos about me actually probably even care about me. I think they care about making money.
Hang on, back that shit up.
Ben Folds, there's always someone cooler than you. And that is factual. I don't think the people who make videos about me actually probably even care about me.
Okay. There's levels to this. There's layers here. I know a lot of people react to this part and go, no, I don't care. I wouldn't make videos about you if I didn't care at some level. Now, is that level like, oh my God, Anna, I care about you. I care, and I want you to I want to personally come to your house and help you get better. That's a level of care. And then there's a level of care of like, I care about the outcome of the television show that I've been watching for the better part of like 4 years at this point. I've only been reacting for so long. I care about the amount of time that I have put into this. It's not quite the lost cause fallacy because like there's no lost cause here. I've not lost anything. I've invested, right? So speaking of which, I need to check those. But the point is, there's different kinds of care and there's different levels of care. Now, that being said, obviously I care, or else I wouldn't bother to check and see what the fuck you're doing. Obviously I care, or I wouldn't have bothered to check your fucking scores while I was gone this weekend. I was out of town, and I still fucking checked your scores for your stupid strong woman thing. By the way, congratulations on getting 4th. That was a hell of a lot better than I thought you were gonna get. That's right. We've been doing this far too long. So clearly I care. And something that I have learned, not just from reacting, but from watching all of the girls, is that the people that they paint as their haters, all of them do this. Those people tend to actually care more about them than the people in their lives seem to. And now, Anna doesn't show interactions with her family and her close friends hardly at all, which is one of the things that makes Anna different than the other girls. So I'm always like Anna is a girl, but she's like over here. She's like a different kind of girl. Like she's a different classification of girl. I don't know where the fuck that came from. Cat hair. Because she does some of the shit, but she doesn't do all of the same shit. So I don't know how fucked up and enabling her family is, but just from her stories and shit, they ain't stable. So, but where was I going with this? But with like Rosie and Amber and Foodie, every time they do something, and they do it a lot, something that's very dangerous or self-destructive or just unhealthy, it's always the people that hate them the most that are like, don't do that. Maybe don't do that. Hey, that's dangerous. Maybe rethink this idea. Paperclip. It's always the people that they claim hate them the most that are the ones who are putting up the red flags and throwing paper clips and trying to help them, or for whatever reason, trying to like talk sense into them. Anna has the same thing. The people that Anna claims hate her the most are the people who are typically telling her, hey, you're probably going to injure yourself. Maybe don't do it that way. Maybe do it a different way. Hey, you need to adjust this. She's gotten so much feedback on her form. Even when she was running, people want to help her. And these are the people that she qualifies as being her haters, right? And during this whole strong woman thing, which we'll see if it continues now that she's competed, but like almost every reaction channel that I follow, don't get me wrong, I don't follow all of them, but all of the channels that I followed, even though we have given her no end of shit, because we've all pretty much said, I really hope you compete. And I really hope you continue to do this after you compete, because her MO is she quits after she competes, or she hits her pinnacle. Yes. Anyway, she hits her goal, whatever her goal is, and then she stops. She's just like cold turkeys, it stops. And all of us have been very hopeful that she doesn't stop with the strong woman. Like, she's obnoxious as fuck with it, don't get me wrong, and she annoys everyone with it, but we want her to keep going because we can see that she seems to like it and it's good for her, right? And we're the ones who hate her. We're the ones who can't stand her. We're the ones who want to tear her down. Why are we rooting for you? Why are we all following you to try to see how well you did? Why are we the ones saying congratulations on getting fourth? Why are we the ones going, wow, you hit your PR while you were at the thing? She hit her deadlift PR. That's cool. That's cool as fuck. She was one of two. She tied for the highest deadlift with, I think, the person who took first. I have to double check that one. I might be talking out my ass. But like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But we're the ones who hate you? That's not hate. That's criticism, right? Yeah, we're giving you shit because you do and say stupid shit. Okay? Yes, there are people out there that just fucking hate Anna and they just cannot stand any positive thing being said about Anna. And I just refuse to be like that. But so she's right. There are people out there that just cannot say anything positive about her. But she's not talking about those people. Honestly, because even, look, I don't watch Alan Roberts. I don't watch Alan Roberts. But back when I did, even he had positive things to say occasionally. And even he would say things like, I hope she gets better. Like, even he would say that. And he's like the angriest reactor there is. And as far as I'm aware, like, again, I haven't watched Alan in years. But just my memory of him. And that's kind of my point. Like, even the angriest reactors are still like, I hope you do well. I hope you stick with it. But so anyway, this is why this video is so goddamn long. But this definitely falls under, the strategic victimhood and the narrative control. We're the bad guys, we're evil, we're bad, definitely comes back down to the disruptive reasoning. It feeds into the self-mythologizing feedback loop as well. This whole conversation that we've been having here is 100% the self-mythologizing feedback loop, because the criticism that she is getting, she is immediately dismissing it as us literally being hateful and jealous, and it's just further strengthening her idea that she is a victim on the internet and she's a victim of our hate and our jealousy, and we're only doing this because we want to make money. Anna, this video is literally an advertisement for BetterHelp. You're getting paid for this twice. You're getting paid by BetterHelp, and it's monetized. Okay, come at me for being come at me for making money off your video. Anyway, so yeah, that's what we're seeing right here. I think from this point forward, it's basically the feedback loop for the most part, and her just trying to basically gaslight us into everyone who's critical of me is a hater. That's not true. Anyway.
I think they care about making money. And once I kind of figured that out, it became very clear to me why this content is made. And I'm just not going to do that in return. There have been a lot of
There are a lot of creators who are not monetized who make content about you, so that argument does not work. There are a lot of people that make content that is critical about you that are not monetized. And they're small channels that may not even get monetized. Like, not every channel that makes content about the girls is going to get monetized, okay? That's just the reality of the situation. Even as supportive as this community is. All right? So that argument doesn't float. All right? And that definitely falls under the narrative control and disruptive reasoning. And it also falls under, again, the self-mythologizing feedback loop. All of these people, they just want to make money. She says, as she sits in this commercial, this video that she's making, that is a paid-for commercial by BetterHelp, that is a monetized video. That is the pot calling the kettle black with no irony. Irony. Okay? Like, you can do that. I'm not going to say you don't get to do that. You can do that. We're going to call you on it every fucking time. Okay. I dared to make a monetized video about your monetized video that's also a paid sponsorship. Which one of us is making more money, Anna? Also, there's nothing I'm doing here that is against TOS. Hang on. This is gold right here.
This content is made, and I'm just not going to do that in return. There have been a lot of videos made where I could refute a lot of the things in it, but I'm just not that person. It doesn't even matter at this point, because the people who have made that content are just committed in making money, and they're just going to put together whatever storyline sells the most.
Okay. She says, come to me, transcript. There have been a lot of videos where I could refute a lot of the things in it, but I'm not that person. Look, Anna. If you did that, hear me out. If you did that, if you started reacting to reactors and refuting the things that you think are inaccurate, you would have gold on your channel, all right? This video that you've got here, it's a day old. It's about to break 5K views, all right? You have 2.3 million subscribers. That is really fucking low. You should have way more fucking views after a day on this video. All right. You even announced that this video was going to come out. Like, you hyped this video. All right. So you should have way more views. You only have 312 likes on this video. So hear me out. If you picked any reactor, any of us, or even just want to go for Sam at every size, do it. Because Sam is very nice. Sam is very well researched. Sam would probably get the biggest kick. I mean, I would get a huge kick out of it, but Sam would probably get the biggest kick out of it, honestly, because Sam has been covering you longer than anyone. I would fucking love it, personally. So you should do this just for me. Just because I'm asking. No other reason. Go react to any of Sam's videos on you. Even the Go Gadget Arms video. She just made a video about you, about this fucking video. Go refute the video. Do it. That video that you make where you're just, even if it's the shittiest video you've ever made, that video, I promise you, would be one of your top watched videos in the last 2 years. I promise you. You could rekindle this channel of yours. You could rekindle this channel of yours in like a month if you just started reacting to reactors and refuting the bullshit that we say. Go for it. Go react to our stuff. Especially some of the trainers. Oh my God. Go after them. Do it. Do it. Yes. This is content. This would be content. Do it. Do it. And you know what? Yeah, the reactors are going to react to it. And we're going to start an ecosystem. We're going to start a feedback loop for realsies. You're going to make reactions to our reactions. We're going to react to your reactions. We're going to bounce this ball back and forth. It's going to be amazing, okay? you are going to rebuild your channel in no time flat. All right? Why will you not do this thing? The reason why you will not do this thing is because you can't. You can't refute the shit that we say. Because the majority, I'm sure there's stuff that some of us get that is not factual. I'm sure there's some things that are inaccurate. Inaccurate? Yes, that's good. That are not accurate, okay? There are things we have questions about that we've never had answers, and I'm not talking about like your overall weight and that kind of a thing. There are inaccuracies. Clarify them. Go out and clarify them. But the problem is the things that we don't know are things that you won't tell us because for some reason you just won't. And the second thing is the things that we are pretty confident about, which are the things that probably piss you off the most, you can't refute because they're accurate. And that's why you won't do this, which would be fucking amazing if you would. It would just be so great if you would. Do it. Anyway, but that little comment there, again, the self-mythologizing feedback loop, it just kind of strengthens that argument that our criticism is hateful and not accurate. She could refute us, but she is not that person. She is not that person. We are that person. Whoever that person is. But that also goes back all the way up to the moral masking. She is not that person. Who is this person? Whoever it is, she is not that person. It also is, it's deep into narrative control. That person. Who is this person? I might want to know who they are. I might want to have them over for coffee. I don't know. I would say this is transactional altruism, but only because I want this video to happen in the worst possible way. But it's not. It's not. I'm just saying it is. Again, strategic victimhood. I could refute these things. They are making up shit about me. I am the victim. They are lying about me, and I could refute it, but I'm not that person. Okay. Well, if we're making up lies about you and you could refute it, why don't you? If you're telling the truth, again, as I said way earlier in this video, I don't know how many of you are still here for that. Sometimes the best course of action is to just fucking ignore it. If you are telling the truth and you know it's the truth, the internet being the internet will eventually figure it out because that's just how the internet works. It will eventually figure shit out. Now, it might take a minute or two, but it will eventually figure itself out. That is the one thing I will say about the internet. This kind of hits on all of them, honestly. She's trying to kind of rally her troops here. This is part of the parasocial relationship that she thinks she has, in my opinion, that I don't think she actually has, because she's like, I'm not one of these people. Everyone on YouTube who still watches you is those people. So, good job. And yeah, we talked about the disruptive reasoning and all that. So, yeah, she pretty much hit all 8 of them with just that one statement. Good job. You get a gold star.
Is made. And I'm just not going to do that in return. There have been a lot of videos made where I could refute a lot of the things in it, but I'm just not that person. It doesn't even matter at this point because the people who have made that content are just committed in making money, and they're just going to put together whatever storyline sells the most.
The storylines we put together based on the videos you put together, the content that you've posted, the book that you wrote, the shit that you say. I mean, don't get me wrong, you definitely make it difficult by your wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey shit, but it's not impossible. But the storylines that we create are based on the stuff that you put out, so if you don't like what we come up with, either take the mystery out of it, or suffer the consequences, I guess.
But it is a lot of work to produce a longer form content, and
that is true.
Sometimes I just don't have the time.
Because lifting heavy objects is time consuming? I understand. Not belittling people who pick up and put down heavy objects. I'm making a joke about it, but I'm not belittling them. I'm just saying I'm pretty sure it doesn't take all day.
I am going to try to do a couple hauls because I know y'all just love the hauls, and I've had so
You literally built your channel around the hauls. This is transactional altruism at its finest. I'm going to try to do a couple hauls because I know you guys love them. This is what you built your channel on. This is not a gift. You are not giving us anything. This is what you built. It would be like I stopped doing reactions altogether. I just stopped doing reactions on this channel altogether, and I just start doing bird watching videos. That's it, just bird watching videos. And y'all start going, dude, where are the reaction videos? I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get around to it. But here's a bird watching video. And you all start going, we don't want to watch bird watching videos. And I'm like, well, we're watching birds. No reaction videos yet, but I'll get around to it. I know you guys want reaction videos, but I'll get around to it. That's what she's doing. And then once a month, I'm like, okay, fine. Here's a reaction video because I know you guys like them. Here's a reaction video. This is what I built my channel on. This is what this channel is about. Your channel was about fashion. Anyway.
So many messages about people asking for hauls, and I think it would
imagine that
be fun to do them again, but they're going to be done in like the low budget OG version because.
But they're going to be done in the least complicated way possible. I am going to phone these fashion hauls in because I don't fucking want to do them. She basically just said, I know you guys want hauls. I don't want to do them. So when I do get around to doing them, they're going to be the absolute worst quality I can make them because I don't want to do them.
That's what I have time for. I guess I'm just popping on to say I'm coming back. Not as loudly as I was before.
I'm coming back. Cool. It's good that you're coming back to the channel that you've been neglecting for over a year now. Yay! Everybody get the party poppers and your, I don't know, keg stands. How do you celebrate this? Woo!
And there'll be some hauls in the future. That's pretty much it. And I just
promise.
Just enjoyed chatting with you today. So that's it. Till next time.
Hey. That was a 2-hour video. Yes, I know. I've been here for a minute. All right. If you've made it this far in the video, go ahead and put a dress or a shirt or something clothing-like down in the comment section because Anna promises that she's going to do hauls. Those are totally coming. Those are coming. She promises. Are they going to be good? No. She promises that they're not going to be good. She's actually told us in her own way they're going to be the shittiest thing she's ever filmed. But since you guys want them, I guess she'll do some. Aren't you glad she's coming back? Anyway. So yeah, go ahead and put some kind of clothing item down below. I'm not gonna lie, I've talked this stuff to death. I told you this was a dark anthropology video when we started. I don't know how I do this. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down below. Please use timestamps or I'm gonna have no idea what we're talking about by the time we get there. And that's pretty much all I've got for you guys. So thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You guys rock. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody who's going to hit the thumbs up button. And I will see everybody in the next video. Bye.
This is my outro music. You can't copyright strike me because it's just me singing. This is my outro music. Thank you for watching. See you next time.